Okay, so for this spreadsheet, we're going to do formulas. I created this quick spreadsheet of people at work, I guess, their name, their job title, their hourly pay, the hours they work, and how much money they take home. So we're going to calculate, obviously, how much they make per hour times the hours they work, and how much to find out how much take-home pay they would have. And then at the bottom, we're going to calculate the total. So we're going to add and multiply basically for this section. Okay, so let's go ahead and calculate. Well, first, let me just explain that before you calculate any Excel formula, you need to put in an equal sign. So let's go ahead to the column that we're going to actually put the calculation in. You're going to put in an equal sign, because that's how you're letting Excel know that you're about to do a formula. Put in an equal sign, and then you look at the cell that you want to multiply. So we're going to use hourly pay, which is cell Jacob Whiteside's hourly pay in C2. So what you're going to do is type C2, and it highlights it for you so that you know that that's the cell that you need to be in. And the symbol for multiplication is the asterisk. And the asterisk can be found above the number 8. So you would hit Shift 8, and then you would put in D2, because he worked 40 hours and we wanted to capture the 40 hours. So then we would put in D2. And then you will go ahead and just hit enter or return, whatever it says on your keyboard. And there's your answer. He will be taking home $800. And we'll do the same for the next one. We will put the equal sign. This one will be C3 times D3. And so on and so forth. Now, of course, there's a shortcut to this. C4 times C4. Instead of typing it, you can just hit equals. Go ahead and click on it. Put your asterisk. Click on the other one and hit enter. There's a shortcut for that. Let's try that again for practice. Put your equal sign. Click on the cell. Asterisk. Click on the other cell and enter. Now another shortcut would be to just click on the last calculation you did. You go down to the corner of the cell. You can click and drag it down, and it'll copy the same formula from the very last, from whatever formula you have selected. It'll copy it and drag it down, and you'll have the formula again. So ideally, we could have done it from up here and just dragged it all the way down to get our answers. But I had to show you each of the 3 ways to calculate a formula in a row. Now, to add, so we're going to calculate the total for all employees, and the total, of course, is addition. So you would just come to where you want to put the total. We want to put the total here. You can put equal. Actually, let's do it another way. We're going to go up here to this little symbol up here means sum. We're going to click sum, and then it's going to highlight and ask us if are these the cells that we want to add. And yes, they are. So we're going to just go ahead and hit enter or return, and it's going to give us the answer. And we can do the same here. Yes. And again, shortcut, click and drag, give us the same result. And that's how you do multiplication and addition. And subtraction and division are just as easy. You just use the, for subtraction you would use the minus sign, and division you would use the slash. Now, there's also some formatting that we can do to this. We can make some lines, because when we print it out, we want it to look nice and neat. So there's some, back up here in the font section, there is a command here. It allows us to add borders and lines throughout our spreadsheet. So this little area right here doesn't have any lines. You can see the grid lines, but if it was to print, it would be no lines. So we're just going to add some grid lines in there, just to make it look a bit more neat. We're just going to go ahead and put all borders. And see how it did that? Now for the total, I like the total to stand out. So we're going to go ahead and merge and center this one like we did before. So we're going to click on merge and center. So that created that area. And then for this one, I'm going to choose the top and double bottom border. Yep, there we have it. Oh, and for this number here, let's go ahead and just put that $sign in there. So if you want to make lines, you can do this and you go up here. That's how you would make your borders. Now let's say we wanted to put a picture in this spreadsheet. Let's just go ahead down to a bottom empty space. And we would go up to Insert. And for this one, it's in Illustration. So you would click on the little arrow under Illustrations, and then it asks you, we want to insert a picture. So just go to Pictures. The picture I want is on my desktop. So we're going to use this one, and we'll use the picture that's called Goals. So you just click on the picture you want to use and hit Insert. And there's the picture. And of course we'll need to resize this because it's huge. You would just click and drag it, and you can make it whatever size you want to make it. And as long as you have the picture selected, you can move it around your spreadsheet. I'll just go ahead and make it a little bit smaller so we can fit it right next to our spreadsheet. And that's how you enter a picture. Now when the picture is selected, and you know it's selected because it has these little bars around the edges, you see you have picture tools that pop up. And these are all the picture tools that you can change the style, frame it, crop it, you can change the size. But that's just some options. We're not going to be messing with that too much, but it was just different options so you can change the way the picture looks on screen. And that's how you would enter a picture into a spreadsheet. Okay, now that we have our chart and all of our information, let's create a chart for this information. For this chart, we're just going to use the job title and take-home pay. We just want to see what the take-home pay is for each job title. So to do that, we're going to go ahead and highlight the job title row. That's click and drag
I'm sorry, we're going to click it down to just the last job title, because if you notice, the last title is the total. And then we're going to hold down the control key and go ahead over to take home pay, click, and drag it down to the last total for the director of HR. So right now we have highlighted columns B and column E, right down from the first job title to the last job title, from the first set of take home pay to the last set of take home pay. So now our charts can be found in the Insert tab. So we were in Home, now we're in Insert. And for this, we're going to go ahead and choose the bar chart. So look at the bar chart. It's kind of the middle one there. Horizontal bars. Click on the arrow, and it gives you options. You can do the 2D bar or the 3D bar. We're going to do the 3D bar first choice. And it shows you, if you kind of hover over each, it'll show you what each of them look like, so you don't have to make a decision until you see what each of them look like. I think I like the way this one looks the best, so we're going to go ahead and click on it. And here's our chart. So as you can see, now that we have our chart, we can go ahead and move it over. And much like the picture, you can resize it as long as it's selected with the handles on the side. And if you notice, our chart tools dialog box opened up now that we have our chart selected. So you click on the arrow, you see there are all types of options to make the chart look different. You can just click through each one to see which one you like best. I think I kind of like this one, so we'll stick with this one. And here's our chart. And like I said, you can resize it, make it a little smaller. We'll leave that the way it was so that all the information can be seen. And that's how you insert a chart.